you guys? Just a preference.
I'm
Marjorie Liu, and I freaking love comics.
Hello, I'm Chris Claremont, and I freaking love freaking comics. You got a problem with that?
Yo, my name is Donnie Cates, and I know the brand is I freaking love comics, but I fucking love comics.
Comics, movies, TV, video games, anime, your powers combined. I freaking love comics.
Live with Juder and Robo.
It is fucking live from the Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Flo, you mind help me out with that cipher? Apocalypse. Yeah. So this is awesome. I'm really glad to see you guys. I'm here with Robo. I'm here with Rhi. I'm here with Cypher. We got a full house. This is gonna be a tits episode. We just got done. We just got done talking to Tina Horn and Matt Barlow. And we got cool ass shit on the horizon too. We got confirmation with Kevin Eastman, the creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shit is poppin'.
Kevin Eastman. We're recording June 6th. What?
Can't wait.
What?
Can't wait.
Yeah. Like,
So
6-year-old Judah is flipping the fuck out.
6-year-old Judah, huh? I wonder what he's like.
He loves Ninja Turtles, apparently.
Loves the Ninja Turtle. Yeah.
You know, I always you know what's crazy about the Ninja Turtles? Like, I was that weird kid that was like, I like Battletoads.
You had to be the contrarian. Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
I like Sega.
That was an age.
You got a Samsung, don't you?
Nah, bro. First, we had this conversation.
Oh yeah,
baby.
that's right. Okay, all right.
I was a
Ainsley
kid.
is in the chat.
I want to be different. Yo, what's up, Ainsley?
I was less tribal as a kid, though, man. Like I could like Battletoads. I could like Teenage Mutant Turtles. I could like Street Sharks.
Same.
I could like
Same.
what were those mice? The mice.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Oh my
Mutant
God.
League. Like I could like all that stuff, and I didn't feel like I had to like one more than the other. You know.
That was the same way I was, and it's followed me through adulthood because when everybody was talking like about Nintendo and Sega and like they're battling it out, which one was better? When I was a kid, I was like looking at my parents going, "Why can't we have both?" And they'd be like, my dad would be like, "Cause I'm E4 and we're poor. Shut the fuck up." You lucky you got that.
You know what's crazy about that? Like that whole me trying to be the guy that's different, that goes the opposite of with the mask. That was a very small stint in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized like, while I'm like, yeah, I think Sega might be better because of Sonic, but then I'm like, dude, but I really want to play Super Mario World.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know,
I really
Sega had
wanna
a
play
controller.
Zelda.
That controller was from the future, though. You know what I mean? Like, you pick up that Sega controller, and it's like shaped like a half moon, and it was just like, oh, this is like this is the next level. You know?
This is it right here. You know what I mean? Now, I would say this about Sega, though. Sega's Mortal Kombat actually featured the gore and body dismemberment. The Nintendo one was a little too friendly for my like, so I'll give Sega that. But, you know,
Hey,
I mean, that's not here.
we got Polly in the chat, Glennis in the chat. Hey, Chef's in the chat. There it is for you.
What's up? Sorry, you know, I guess everybody
Oh,
doing?
Michael
Everybody-
Malone's in the chat.
Oh, what's up?
Hey.
Michael Malone.
Michael.
Where's Mama Malone? Where's Mama Malone?
Yeah. The IFLC, the official mother of IFLC, should be here.
We're gonna call her All Mother Mama Malone.
Love it.
Mama Malone, the all mother.
Am I
Hey
doing
Rhi,
wrong?
I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. You did a wonderful job as usual, gathering some awesome news. I do not have the graphics. I woke up late and had to
fine.
walk my dogs, but I
Totally
do have the Discord up, and we can just run it down if you would like.
We'll do a live.
What-
We'll do a live.
Fuck
Yeah,
we'll
fuck
do
it. Let's do it live. So, you guys, should we start by talking about the Snyder Cut?
Ooh,
Why not?
Snyder
Why not?
Release the
Yeah.
Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited?
It's the whole thing is funny to me. It's very funny to me because it's like this has been like the most stupid debate for like years. Like there's a Snyder Cut, and then a bunch of people are like, no, there's no Snyder Cut, and then it turns into like this political hatred of each other. The people who believe in the Snyder Cut, people that don't believe in the Snyder Cut, and it's like so much anger over something so inconsequential. And then finally the Snyder Cut comes out, and it's just funny to me. I was one of those like, there's no Snyder Cut, or
Same.
who cares if there's a Snyder Cut people. But it's still just the level of validation, the smugness of the Snyder Cut people.
That's right,
is
bitches.
so funny. It's like if the moon landing was fake, people found out that the moon landing was fake.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
level
exactly
of
it.
smugness.
But you know what it is about the Snyder Cut, right? The Snyder Cut is like, to me, it's like that hopeful star in the sky. They're like, look, guys, the movie it was actually good. And we got railroaded. You know what I mean? Like it's a conspiracy. So I'm like, the Snyder Cut is like right up there with the Illuminati, bro. Like once we prove, like please let it be good.
What if it sucks?
Hey, full disclosure. Michael Malone is not a dude, bro, and we love him to death, but he definitely is a pro. Hashtag release a Snyder Cut.
So that's the other thing. Not most of the people that wanted a Snyder Cut are normal ass fans, just like people who thought it was stupid. Like they're the same fans, but because it's 2020 and every single thing is politicized, I think subconsciously people painted in their mind, oh, the Snyder Cut people must be of some political faction that I hate. Or the no Snyder Cut people must be. It like became a political thing without the actual politics. Which I think
check
is
this out. Let me throw something in there.
Oof.
I know. So let me admit something. I'm not saying this is the entire internet. I'm not saying this is every person who's against it or for it. But like a lot of stuff, somehow, and it's bizarre to me. Somehow, it became political. Like that's why if you look at the beginning of the last Harley Quinn episode, the dude bro who didn't like Harley Quinn was depicted as a release of Snyder Cut. Like it's really weird, and I don't know. I couldn't even begin to break down where the divide becomes, because if I took the entire release of Snyder Cut types, somehow that's, even if 80% of them are just regular comic book fans like us who just happen to like DC, right? Let's say 80% of them. Somehow the 20%, the comics gators and the anti-SJW types go, they aligned with that side. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure, because DC and Marvel are both accused of being SJW, so I'm not sure what the deal is.
I have a theory, and I think it's just whoever gets there first. If the first person who if the first person who's against the Snyder Cut, who thinks it's a stupid idea, is an SJW type, then you're gonna have more people for it on the non-SJW level. If the first person who is like, release the Snyder Cut, is a gamergator, then immediately SJWs are going to be like, oh, must be a dude bro thing. It's just completely arbitrary. It's whoever gets there first.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, okay, I'll say yes and no, because I think just the hate spreads because
I'm gonna need cup of noodles off screen, so I'm gonna do this then.
Oh, hey, first
I'm gonna do a Rhi.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It's okay. I vape on lives, so.
Well, I mean, shit, I should bring my hookah then.
If I try to be cool about it. I try to be cool about it. I'll do a hit and then.
Blow it in the air.
Hey guys. I don't know why I was just doing that, but.
Oh, that was super cool, dude. Can I really want to be like that.
You be just like me.
Yeah, just
one day.
One day, bro. I'm going to that. But here's the thing with the Snyder Cut. Okay, just with DC right now, right? DC is not in a good position right now when it comes down to movies, and like they're like, well, you guys don't like it because Marvel is a little more campy, a little more childlike friendly. I'm like, okay, well, that's what works, right? That's what's selling. But then when you guys drop a movie, right, and it's trash, and I mean, like,
what are you gonna say then?
You know, but they always say, like, for example, like somebody actually questioned my intelligence because I didn't like Batman v Superman, right? They go like, well, it's because they go like,
sorry.
I shit you not.
You don't like Batman v Superman? What is your IQ? Can you just tell me?
I think Robo. You actually put
don't like Batman
on Facebook. He's like, well, clearly, and I hate this. Like the most smuggy thing you say. You think you can say? Well, clearly, you don't read no comic books because if you did, you will understand that. But you know what? Who am I to call you a dumbass in your own page? And I'm like, whoa, bitch.
Yeah.
Right, you raggedy hoe. Listen to me real quick, all right? It's not my fault your 4-hour movie was trash, and the selling gimmick here was Batman v Superman, and it was just two gym bros fighting for 8 minutes.
Why did you say that name?
Martha. I'm like, okay.
Completely out of character.
Ainsley's got a good point.
What's up?
Robert Downey Jr. can eat blueberries on camera. I could eat noodles. Anyways, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying, though. But like everybody, like, oh, it's because you don't read comics. Oh, it's because you didn't get the like how deep and emotional.
I hate that, dude. I hate that.
like,
you know,
bro.
it works. It works if you're talking about factual stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, pretend I'm arguing with you guys about Superman, right? And we're talking about the Superman movie, and I jump in there like, what I thought was stupid about it is that Superman can't fly, guys. He can only jump far. I think I know. I fucking watch all the fucking Matt Fleischer movies. Then at that point, it's valid to go, bro, you don't read comics, do you? But it's when you don't read comics to apply it to disagreeing with a subjective point of view, with an opinion. Like, I don't like Spider-Man. Well, you clearly don't read comics. Fuck you.
Like, yeah, hey,
I do like Spider-Man as an example.
by the way, I am going to clip that "fuck you," and that's just gonna go on my stream. For now on, as soon as I'm gonna put a command Robo, and it's gonna be "fuck you." Like so much emphasis on the C and K. I was like, God damn.
Oh my god! Actually, before we keep going, I want to tell the chat about. So we filmed some interviews this week, and Robo was like, I don't know if you guys know when we were all like outside when we finished up talking to these people and whatever. Sometimes Robo's dogs bark, and so he'll mute the mic. But the other thing that
Oh yes, tell them.
Yeah, tell them. Robo. The other thing you do is like, what do you do? Yeah.
It's a trade secret. So if I ever itch my face, and like especially if you, sometimes I itch my face, but if I have to like mute the mic and I look and you see me go like this, I'm actually going like this. Shut the fuck up! And then I unmute. I know, right?
I love it.
The other one that I also like that you gotta look for,
I'm just kidding.
and you gotta take a shot every time you see this, is if you see Robo do this, you always know what's happening because he's mutes the mic, and then glares.
Yeah, that's the one.
That means there's some kind of distraction, probably the dog that's making noise and very upset.
So I live in a small townhome with no
Judah.
lawn, so.
Judah, your mom and dad said hi apparently, according to the
Yeah,
chat.
thank you.
Hey!
Oh shit.
Yeah,
What's up, David? That's my brother David.
I
So
figured when he said mom and dad.
he was here visiting just before quarantine, so back in like March. And when he was here, so he's a nerd. He's just not as big of a nerd as myself, but he likes we like a lot of the same shit. Like he likes metal, Iced Earth. He likes comic books and superheroes. But I got him into the Donny Cates. When he was here, like when we were just hanging, he read Thanos Wins by Donny Cates.
Oh man,
and he fucking
so
loved
good.
it. I've introduced him to Jason Aaron Thor, Donny Cates Venom, Donny Cates Thanos, and he's like all about it. So.
Oh, by the way,
Good deed.
now that I have you here, the other day on my stream I played Metallica, and the first person that popped into mind was you. I was like, my boy Judah will love me.
Thank you.
That's like-
You know, Matt Barlow likes Metallica, even their new stuff.
Even
Yeah.
their new stuff.
Even their
You know
new
who
stuff,
doesn't
like-
like their new stuff? Donny Cates.
Yes, that's right.
Now
Donny.
what?
Damn it, Donnie!
So now your heart's torn. Like, who do I go
That's it.
to when they call my
Shit.
name?
The midlife crisis of Judah.
Yeah.
It is. It's just, I mean,
I mean, clearly it's Donny Cates.
If I met James Hetfield from Metallica and he was like, "Yeah, I just don't really like our new stuff," then I'd be like,
Yeah.
"I hate you."
That would be the day we actually find out Judah is a what is it, life model replicant.
Yeah, like
He's
my
like-
brain is like,
Cannot. Metallica doesn't like new Metallica.
I love it. Hey,
So-
this probably isn't news, but I found an article. So Zack Snyder had a watch party for Man of Steel.
Yeah, that's when he
the other week.
announced this whole thing, right?
Yeah. And he was talking about like in Man of Steel, the shit that he wanted to do that he didn't quite get across the line. And one of those was he was going to have a Watchmen reference in there. So he was going to have one of the screens.
"Oh,
be-
a Doomsday Clock teaser
Yeah,
like that."
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
that
exactly
would be
it.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but
think-
they didn't approve it, so he couldn't get it in the movie, which is pretty shitty. But I don't know if that counts as news or not.
So
What do you think
I'm
about
gonna
that?
I'm gonna say something sacrilegious.
Oh, one door.
If we move, if DC Universe goes to a moves to a Doomsday Clock as like a big like series, like give me like 10 movies with different titles between Wonder Woman and all that, I'm watching the fuck out of that. That's
Ooh.
dope. That's dope.
Lots of people like Doomsday Clock. Like lots of people are super into that whole arc. They think it's
Yeah.
really good. So maybe it'll work.
I mean, so But why though? That's like the question. Like, why Doomsday Clock versus any other arc? I mean, just for us unenthused, us uneducated.
So it's world breaking. That's why people are. I mean, there's two reasons why people love it. One is that it takes the Watchmen, which is arguably the most famous and revered comic book of all time, and incorporates it in the DC universe, which is kind of groundbreaking in and of itself. But it's also, think of Doomsday Clock as like a Crisis on Infinite Earths or a Flashpoint type event. It's world breaking, and that also ups the ante. It also, the last biggest thing is the role of Dr. Manhattan is unprecedented, and
in a world that already has Superman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's definitely it's a big deal. Like the fact that they did it is a big deal. What did David said? I want to read Punisher run next. Yeah, I told him to read Punisher Max, and he will.
Fuck yeah.
And he will.
Go ahead.
Michael says there is a Watchmen Easter egg. Do you guys know what that is?
Nope.
I'll have to ask him.
I think I was asleep.
He was talking
Like,
about.
I was in and out of sleep, and I was like, oh.
I think there's a little button, like the smiley face button is in one of the shots or as graffiti or something maybe. But he wanted to have the Mars on screen, and they wouldn't let him have it. So I think maybe that's what Michael's talking about. I'm not sure. Let me know, Michael, if I'm wrong.
Watchmen. What is this? Is this Superman or Batman v Superman?
Man of
Justice
Steel.
League. Man of Steel. Ah.
You know what's crazy? I actually enjoy Man of Steel. Like, it got a lot of hate, and I can understand why. You know what I mean? Superman became a moodier Bruce Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Like, however, I enjoy Man of Steel because it finally shows Superman in a live-action movie be the demigod that he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that fight with Zod is how I imagine, like, a Dragon Ball Z fight would happen if it goes live-action. And I thought it was amazing. Like, I've rewatched that scene so many times. Or when they're fighting in Smallville, I thought that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even granted, excuse me. Superman caused way more damage than the Kryptonians did on both Smallville and Metropolis. However, I thought those fight scenes were amazing.
So I like parts of all of those DC movies, even the ones I dislike. There's parts I like. Seeing them all there, seeing them do their it's cool. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the only everyone's least favorite one is either BV Superman or Justice League. I actually like Aquaman the least. Not sure why.
Ooh, I love Aquaman, but I love James Wan.
Yeah.
It's because
I
felt like when they were writing it, they weren't even paying attention to their own work. That's what bothers me.
What does that?
There's a scene where
So
there's a scene where he's walking in this I think it's in Italy, and she has to explain to him what Pinocchio is because he's never heard of Pinocchio. But then the next scene, they're standing around by all these statues, and he's like, "Wait, these are Roman gods. That's Marcus Aurelius. That's like these Roman generals." It's like he's educated enough to know all these fucking Roman generals, has no idea who Pinocchio is. Get the fuck out of here.
There's a mythological connection between.
There is the Poseidon.
This is even dumber. They're holding a telescope, and they're like, I wonder who's supposed to have the telescope. And they're looking at all the statues, and it takes them way longer than they should for them to think, well, maybe it's the guy doing this. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And the way his people all accept him at the end after killing so many of them in a war of ego, it was like, get the fuck. I don't know. None of it emotionally resonated with me, and none of it logically resonated with me either. But
all that makes sense except for the first one. The whole mythology of Atlantis and Roman mythology are pretty intertwined. For him to know Roman shit totally makes sense. For him to not know modern Disney level shit.
I mean, if you think about it,
it's real to them.
Ares is he's a recurring antagonist for the Justice League. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like there's been some established Greek mythology, Roman mythology that exists
in their world. It's real, yeah.
But didn't you guys catching like in both Shazam and like in Aquaman the Annabelle Easter egg?
Yeah, under the ocean, the Annabelle. I saw an Aquaman. What was in Shazam?
I think it was at a toy store.
Oh, cool. That's right.
I thought it was cool.
Did it have the actual Annabelle or the real one, the Raggedy Ann?
The actual Annabelle, I think.
Whichever one was in the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. So little fun fact is the Annabelle in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, based on a true story, I'm just gonna put giant quotes on it. But the actual, more giant quotes.
I get
The
you.
actual
Like the real
doll
life.
is a
Yep.
Raggedy Ann.
It's a Raggedy Ann. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, the
Yeah,
the
the
movie
one-
doll actors, I guess you could call it.
Which Marvel character would most seamlessly fit into a Justice League movie?
That's
Black
a good
Widow.
question. Interesting. Why is that?
Just the overall ambience and mood of it.
Yeah.
I mean, just usually the Justice League will tackle a more dark premise, where Black Widow, she fits the whole, Black Ops operative.
Yeah.
Her moral qualms are
fits that
non-existent.
universe.
You know what I'm saying? Plus, I honestly think she will vibe well with somebody like Batman.
Yeah,
overall
I can see that.
in the overall arc. Hell, even bumping heads to the point. A lot of people will say Captain America, but I feel like when you have two Boy Scouts, which in this case will be Captain America and Superman, it would just become a cringe fest. Like, we get it. You know what I'm saying? You guys love everything right and righteous. Who cares? Just decapitate this dude real quick. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd say Thanos. Thanos or Galactus.
ooh,
Thanos and Darkseid going at it or teaming up?
Teaming up. I'd rather they team up. I think like
it'll be a one-sided fight if they fight.
they have similar life views. Darkseid more powerful, Thanos I would say more intelligent. So them combined would be very formidable. And Galactus, I mean, come on, like if you're gonna go against Superman, the Flash, Wonder Woman, these are powerful heroes, way more powerful than Marvel heroes. So if you're gonna have these kinds of heroes, you gotta have big ass bad guys.
Yeah.
I
I'd
think
love to see Wolverine in a DC movie. That would be pretty fun.
who would he meet? Like where would
Imagine Wolverine and Batman. That'd be so such a weird playoff because they're both so gritty and I'm a manly man, but they probably take the piss out of each other at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, Superman bend adamantium? I think that's the big question.
Ooh,
Like
that's an
adamantium
awesome
is
question.
adamantium's unbreakable. There's only one process that makes it malleable, and it's an incredibly difficult process to achieve. But it is completely unbreakable. If Superman can't break adamantium, then Wolverine is actually a decent threat. He could potentially even cut Superman with his adamantium claws. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Your dad is actually in
see-
the chat now, and he says Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. I'd say that she is a very DC-like character in her not just presentation, but also her level of power and ability.
I would want a Justice League Dark movie in which Doctor Strange shows up. I think that would be badass.
Constantine and Stephen Strange will make a very good
I think that would be a great
on-screen chemistry,
That'd
you know
be
what I mean?
dope.
Or
Yeah.
on panel. But you know
I
what's
love
crazy?
seeing Constantine in anything. He's just so
You
great.
don't have me thinking about the Thanos and Darkseid team up. You know what I mean? Because even you think about it now, Thanos is infatuation with death, and Darkseid hits everlasting quest against the anti-life equation. Will make into a very philosophical between the lines. You know what I mean? Moral quandary between the two antagonists. You know what I mean? Well, only difference is that with Thanos, he has dipped into the realms of an anti-hero a few times, where Darkseid is a straight up action. You know what I mean? Like he rules over a planet called Apokalypse. You know what I'm saying? Like
So maybe one of the ways that they end up losing is towards the end, Thanos realizes that it's not in his best interest to work beside Darkseid.
Well, the whole thing has to go. There's no other way to do this. If they actually teamed up, let's do this, bro. It would be stupid and out of character. The way they would do it is both of them thinking that they're smarter than each other, and both of them using each other.
No tigre!
One thing.
No tigre.
One thing that frustrates me in general about crossovers and characters meeting for the first time is they always have to fight. You know what I mean? And it's not that I don't. It's like the two superheroes that have never met each other meet. The first thing they do is they have a misunderstanding and they fight. Two bad guys, they meet, they have a misunderstanding and they fight. And it's like, how much more interesting would it be if they just right away got along and then teamed up
made love?
Then saw
Team up.
or made love, yeah.
Team up, yeah.
But they team up, they meet each other and they're like, oh, superhero. Yeah, me too. Cool. Let's go fight the bad guys. We don't have to waste our time with this fight that we know they're going to just make up at the end anyway. You know what I mean?
Ainsley said Captain America isn't miserable enough to be DC. That's about right.
So true. America.
Yeah, what would Captain America do? He's not
Where's his
powerful.
tragedy? There's no tragedy. He's like, hey guys, life's pretty good, right? And all the DC characters are like,
even when his life
Pretty good for a white man these days, right?
even when his life is falling apart, like Captain America will be like, well, shit happens, so go work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always
just
so
remember, positivity lives in your heart. Come on, guys. Batman beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, I don't right. Like, but it's crazy because when you guys bring crossovers, everybody, the first thing they think is DC and Marvel, right? And one of the crossovers that I was so ashamed it didn't happen because of scheduling conflicts was when they were trying to bring Spider-Man into the Attack on Titan universe, right? And I felt that.
In what direction was that? Japan trying to bring him over, or like what publisher?
Not sure about the publisher. That was it started off a comment of Reddit, right? And they started.
Like a fan movement.
It started as a fan movement, but then they furthered with the idea, and I'm not sure what happened. What was the disconnect? However, they teased like what would have been the story. It was like Spider-Man, science MacGuffin sends it back into a world torn. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Attack on Titan. You know what I mean, but it's basically giant naked human zombies
just got done
eating
with it,
him. Yeah. I mean, and then and Spider-Man would have been there, to support. He was going to team up with Levi. You know what I mean? And it would have been, I think it would have been amazing just because, Spider-Man's going to see a whole different, more, you don't think so?
Nah, I don't. I don't. Only because this. Here's why. I'm not just going to say no and then leave it at that. You know me better than that. But I'm going to say no because Spider-Man is like, he's gotten gritty and he's had to get down to it. But Spider-Man is like bubbly and he's kind of like a super powered version of like a Captain America type where he's like, come on guys, we could do it. I could do this all day. You know what I mean? Like kind of type of character where he's just positive.
He's got similar values. He's got unbreakable values.
Right.
Like Captain America.
And if you go into, so check this out. The second, spoiler alert, if you've not seen Attack on Titan, you really want to in the future, just plug your ears and say la 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 for like 30
Or you could
minutes.
just pause your video.
La 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 la.
Yeah, so check this out. Okay, no spoilers. Once Spider-Man figures out exactly what's going on with the Titans, he won't kill any of them. And then that'll be the end of that. And so then that'll make for a very boring
But would he
anime.
kill them anyway? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's not necessarily a killing.
Oh, right, yeah. No, think about
He's not
that.
a-
Think
he's
about
not-
think
he's
about
not a
the
killing
actual
superhero.
Titans and
The way to kill.
Huh?
You gotta cut the nape. I get
For
it.
sure, but what I'm saying is think about the character. Think about the actual Titan itself, and especially the ones that aren't whatever that word the 9 whatever, the royal ones, right? The royal blood ones.
The one that transformed.
There's 9 like royal blood ones, and then there's other small ones out, and then you have the regular ones that are just kind of like, and I hate to say it, I feel like they were modeled off after people with disability, just the way they move and their faces and stuff. But once Spider-Man sees those, sure they're eating people, but he's going to be trying his best to not kill them because they're not coming off as evil.
Well, okay, I think you're taking this a little way too literal into the canon section because
It's the only way I know how to take things.
Well, I know that's why I'm here. So Lynn Snake.
Let's make Spider-Man not Spider-Man. He can kill people. Then it would be dope. I got you. Yeah.
See, he fits because of his powers, right? Like he's web slings, and so many of them are grappling.
I'm saying, like overall, this thing will be non-canon. It's gonna be more fan service than anything else. However, right, like
Spidey kills people in the movie. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, kill mode.
He goes in kill mode in Endgame, and he's stabbing all the freaking Thanos minions,
yeah,
and they're dying.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm not saying.
Hold
Hold on, 1 second. I'm not saying that we're not ready to kill people. It reminds me of the scene in Rick and Morty where he tells Morty, "Don't worry about it," in season 1. He's like, "Don't worry about it. They're just robots." And then Morty goes, "Okay, cool." And so he kills everybody just like Spider-Man would until he finds out that they're like sentient beings. And then he's like, "I thought you said they were robots." He's like, "No, I meant more metaphorically." If they're not clearly evil demon spawn things, Spidey's not gonna want to kill them. And these Titans are like, doing their deals. I don't know. I don't see even non-canon.
You're saying even non-canon, but remember what you're talking about is a late in the game discovery within the show's own mythology, right? So if we drop Spider-Man in an early world of the before they knew anything, you know what I'm saying? Because again, you're going in with the knowledge. Let's say you didn't know.
I'm referencing the regular ass ones, episode 1, season 1. I don't think he's killing those.
Episode 1, season 1. Nobody. They didn't know that the Titans were once humans who got turned into Titans.
Oh, so we're just gonna go there. There's your spoiler.
Ah, fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, fuck me.
No, I mean, like, this is a comic book channel. You know what I mean? You get a little extra. My whole point is, right, that season 1, episode 1, you got dropped Spider-Man. It's like, hey, there's some naked dudes out there that's gonna eat you, bro. We don't want that to happen. And you have Spider-Man saving people. He just show up in the world, start saving people. Then he gets bullied for what's going on. All of a sudden, bro. You know what I mean? Like, let's say the discovery does happen, right? Then that will be your moral conundrum that every comic book obligatory or manga has to have. Like, oh my God, what should we do? However, even after they discovered that in the show, they were like, yeah, they still gotta die though. You know what I mean? Because if they're gonna attack me and kill me, then why not? You know what I mean? I'm gonna defend myself. And I think Spider-Man, especially with his campy side, but always having some type of moral dilemma in his head. Do I save this? Do I save that? I think he will fit in perfectly in a world war-torn, post-apocalyptic world, and especially finding out, not spoiler warning, there's an entire world outside
of it, right?
This island. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, you open up a whole new avenue, and right when he's about to make a decision that can save this world, boom, he gets snapped back into his own reality.
I think if you take somebody like Batman, Wolverine, like Batman, I think what you're talking about, I think Batman, especially the newer, grittier Batman, would be better because Batman, for the most part, doesn't kill people. But if really pushed, he just might, right? I get it. There's
left and right. They're just not showing it.
That's right. Especially when he slaps you in the head with a metal fucking steel bar and leaves you unconscious as your brain is swelling. But anyways,
he's fine. He's fine.
He's fine. I didn't use a gun at least. And so here's the deal: is that we were looking at DC Comics the other day, and there's this one character who has like this staff that's like shooting like beams, like. But if you go like a couple movies before that, Batman won't let fucking Batwoman use a gun. Like giant technological beam shooters, good. Bullet shooting guns, not good, because then you're as bad as them.
Sorry,
it's an emotional thing. It's not
logical.
It's not logical. It's emotional. It's like he's triggered by the shape and look of a gun because that's what killed his parents.
That does make sense.
Totally personal.
But getting back to what I was saying real quick.
To do with any ethics or anything like that.
Let me finish my thought real quick. Is so Batman could be pushed and will be pushed all the time. Look at 99.99% of the guys that Spider-Man fights in the comics from beginning to end. The biggest, baddest dudes, actual evil dudes. And we've seen, I think it was the Ultimate version, but regardless, that Spider-Man probably has the power. He punched Hulk so hard that he goes into orbit, right? So a regular person, he could definitely just put his fist through his head if he wanted to, and never does. The biggest, baddest people, he's still trying to incapacitate them. So I think Spider-Man
punched the Hulk so hard that he went into orbit.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Yeah.
Well, I know in Superior Spider-Man when Doc Ock did the Freaky Friday situation, and Doc Ock had, he was Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. He punched Scorpion. Right, and took off his jaw, cleaned off. Right, that's when Doc Ock realized, like, holy shit, this dude has been holding me back this entire time. But again, even better, you have an unrestrained, unrestrained Spider-Man in a world like Attack on Titan, bro. My imagination is going wild right now. I'm like, just
call him a different character then.
Oh my God! Don't be that guy.
But he has the gear on, and he actually kills people, and he doesn't wear the red costume. Like he probably wouldn't wear that.
Just arachnid dude.
Bro, how about zombies? Zombies. Yeah, like
Arachna guy who kills people.
Arachna guy.
This is gonna be the feature of Night Monkey. Night Monkey's gonna come out. Is that what it is? I love Hulk.
So Michael says Spider-Man would kill them, then make a deal with Mephisto, so it would never have happened, which is a cool idea.
Good reference to
One More Day. Yeah.
Link Snake says they would probably make a different version of Spider-Man, like they did with the Japanese version of Wolverine, which would be sick. That'd be really rad.
That'd be dope. I would love to see a Wolverine in Attack on Titan. That would be nuts.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I love that.
Actually, that would be pretty fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Like, especially if they attach Wolverine with the omnidirectional gear.
Yeah.
But you just have a murder crazy Wolverine, a feral rage Wolverine, berserker rage, just swinging around buildings, slashing them up. So,
But here's how I imagine in my head though. Unfortunately, is he does it right. He puts it on, but he doesn't have the grace to use it. So he's just like, oh shit, and he's like, fuck this. He throws it down and just sprints and starts climbing up them and just fucking chomping them away.
I feel like that, like, I always wanted one of those things, right? But I feel like that will be me when I use it. Like, I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And that would be awesome. Having somebody who's unbreakable, like just having him chewed multiple times, right?
All right.
And just still clawing his way out of there. I'm like, that would be awesome.
You know what character we haven't said, and it proves just how fucking boring he really is when you think on it. Is Superman.
Man.
Like, how stupid of it would it be to just be like, stand by. All right, we won. So what do we do now? He flies in the air. He's like, you guys know there's a whole other continent over there? Season 1, end credits.
But hold on, you know what's crazy about that? Like, if you bring Superman especially into that world, right? Is the fact that knowing the writers, they're gonna give Superman another bullshit ass fucking weakness. Actually, this sun is not as yellow as the Earth sun.
Oh yeah. So he needs the Omni gear
So that's,
to like
that's
go
what
around.
they did. That's what they did in the JLA Avengers crossover from like the early 2000s. Basically, when Flash is in Earth 616, he no longer has access to the Speed Force. Now he's just about as fast as Quicksilver. Quicksilver goes over to the DC universe. Now he has access to the Speed Force, and he's faster than he's ever been. So heroes increase or decrease in power based on which of these two universes they're in.
It's like the credit score goes up in the 616. But
Your melanin changes as you go through.
There are two major crossovers. One was by Kurt Busiek, and then the other one's by Ron Mars. And they're both so okay. Like, incredibly okay.
Okay, just okay.
The most okay, like, if there was a gold medal for being okay.
Like, just this was being great.
The story, especially the first one, the Ron Mars one, is like, the premise is that there's a Earth 616 and Earth 1 at the time, DC Universe and Marvel Universe, they're actually these two brothers. Like, the main top deity of these universes are these brothers. And they wager against each other that my best heroes can beat your best heroes. And so they orchestrate this battle between the two heroes. It's such a stupid story.
Right.
But the imagery of, like, eventually they team up, you know what I mean? But the imagery of, like, seeing Marvel heroes and DC heroes together is still really exciting and cool. That's what makes it okay and not terrible, you know?
Yeah, you know, that reminds me, for those Final Fantasy heads, that was the exact premise of Final Fantasy Dissidia, right? Which is a arena fighting game where it was like the god, basically God and Satan, right? The god of chaos and the god of light. They were like, hey man, I don't like you no more. They're related. They were like, you know what? I'm gonna call all my heroes from this universe, and you're gonna call all the villains from this universe, and that's why they're fighting. Like, literally nothing else, right? Even Sephiroth makes a comments like, you know, I just trying to hone my skills, but what is the reason why we're fighting for this asshole? And then Kefka goes like, yeah, it's a video game, let it go. And I thought it was such a great throwaway comment, but it's like you said earlier, it's like,
I need
if we
continuity.
put two heroes, you know what I'm saying? If we need two heroes, man, let's make them fight. Why not? Like, they can never just be friends. They can never just like have a cookout or nothing. It's always like, you know what? You got similar powers than me. Let's throw some hands.
That's such a funny thing to say, because like when I was watching the Singer, the X-Men movies, the thing that I thought was missing was like what I loved from the comic books the most is when they had like barbecues and baseball games and that like happy fun shit, and they just left all that out. You know, like I feel like if they put that in, they would have had more same success as Marvel has had, because they have that levity.
They took 2 or 3 characters and focused the story on these 2 or 3 characters, like Mystique and Wolverine or whatever, and they made everyone else just this nameless, faceless background character. I mean, Iceman is a background character, and he's Iceman. He's one of the first 5 X-Men. He's a huge character, and he's just this background dude that you see him in class, and he makes a little ice heart for Rogue, and that's the biggest contribution he's made in all those movies.
Yeah. That actor is so much shit. He's a twin, that guy. The guy that plays Iceman.
Really?
So, Cypher, I know you're going to say, they did show him flex in Days of Future Past in, like, the flash forward scenes.
I like when he got decapitated. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Decapitated.
No, I'm not saying because I was like, oh, we're going there. That's pretty awesome. But like, they make sure they decapitate him while he's still in ice form. It's like, it's okay. He's not really a man. But at the same time, though, I mean, look, the thing is that it's like we said. Like, I actually enjoy the scenes where like they're hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, for example, in
some family shit.
In Infinity War, when Pepper and Robbie Downey Jr. Tony Stark are like jogging and they're talking about kids, I thought it was like a nice scene, or like because
at the Age of Ultron when they're all having the party and taking turns trying to lift the hammer. That's like one of my favorite parts of the whole franchise.
So good.
Yeah. And again, this is why I don't think Captain America will do great in the DC, because like I like the in-can explanation that he can actually lift it, but he didn't want to hurt Thor's feelings. And I'm like, yeah, you can't go to the DC because he'll probably let Batman win and be like, look, man, the dude lost his parents.
Yeah.
He told me 18 times as we was fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just let him win. Like,
but you say that as a joke, but I really feel that's the kind of shit that they would write. They like, there's a board meeting, somebody's got to win. Like, all right, Captain America's the type of dude, so we're gonna make him lose, but we'll let him lose if the final panel was like, out of everything Bruce Wayne has lost in his life, I figured he could win at least one, or some stupid shit. And it's like, wait, so can he beat him or not? Like
that's, and I would be mad as hell. I'd be like, word, we just pulling on the Martha on this bitch. Like,
hey, before we get too far, real quick, I want to throw up because we're getting farther and farther, and I can't find a natural pause, so I'm just gonna interrupt. I threw up on the screen right now. There's your Easter egg. So as in Man of Steel, if you guys are looking on your phone, you'll see it in about 10 seconds. But Man of Steel, there's a scene where Superman's walking across, and there's some graffiti on there, and there sure as shit is a little smiley face. No, it's a little smiley face with a blood stain on it. And there you go.
And he said in BVS there's where Batman nearly kills Superman, on the wall is graffiti that is in Spanish and it translates to Who Watches the Watchmen. So there's one in BVS as well. Yeah.
I think they're just teasing. I'm telling you, we're gonna see a Doomsday Clock coming.
I bet you we will.
Give me Rebirth first. No. I'll take Rebirth in the cartoons because that's next. Give me a Doomsday Clock in the movies.
That'd be sweet. Speaking of DC, because everyone's kind of back on board now, we're all starting to get comics again. So DC's full digital first schedule for next week, starting Monday, has come out. Do you guys want to hear what is on there?
Yeah. You said so. Monday they're releasing digital releases.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's suss it out.
You know how they've got that Giants thing going? Yeah, suss it.
Suss it out.
So we've got Superman, The Man of Tomorrow, issue 6. Batman, Gotham Knights, issue 6. Birds of Prey, Sirens of Justice. Aquaman, Deep Dives. Flash, Fastest Man Alive, issue 6. Teen Titans Go, Booyah, and Swamp Thing, New Roots. Do you reckon you'll read any of those? I'm excited for that one. Yeah, me too.
I'm excited about New Roots.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing. That's a character who's like apparently super powerful, and I've never read anything about him. I've never read one.
Really good.
The place to start is with the Alan Moore Swamp Thing run. Mm-hmm. That's like almost. He wrote that like around the time that he was writing the Watchmen. I think it was either shortly after. But it's like basically put Swamp Thing on the map. That's why anybody gives a shit about Swamp Thing now. So
that's great.
I'll say this. I think Swamp Thing and Ray, Juder, feel free to agree or disagree on this one. Swamp Thing is the only character that, to me, it's not so far-fetched how powerful he is and what in his overall, who he is. Like,
feels grounded.
To me, it's one of the few characters because that it just completely makes sense. His powers, like his even like the middle philosophical.
He protects the green.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything with him is just, like, makes so much sense, right? And why he just stays away unless he's needed. And that's why he's been relegated to more of the dark, the more
I agree with
magic entities, because all his shit has to come down to protecting the greenery, the realms, the soul of the earth.
He's kind of like Poison Ivy. He's like Poison Ivy, but a little bit more serious, like less of a parody and more of like a...
Poison Ivy's
also got some tragedy, like with his love arc and stuff, And doesn't he have isn't there some weird stuff with Constantine where there's like some gender swapping or like body swapping or something, and some sex scenes where this is all from memory.
You talk about Damned? You referencing Damned?
Oh, maybe. What happens in Damned?
Maybe. Oh, that's a really good question. I've read it, and I still can't answer that.
Well,
Oh, I guess that's
well, no. I think I know what you're talking about. This is where like it was like publicly addressed that Constantine is bisexual, right?
Oh,
and,
maybe
and that's what it was because well, with a panel that he showed with Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing basically checked his entire, because Constantine and Swamp Thing are like polar opposite of two sides of the same coin, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Where Constantine will do anything and everything to protect or to deport external entities out of Earth, where Swamp Thing is all about preservation, but they go about it differently, right? So when it comes down to like the topic of reproducing, and Swamp Thing basically the forest is basically a giant lover to him, right? For example, where Constantine has like almost to a point that he was referenced as pansexual, you know what I'm saying? But the Constantine sees no, and that was where like they met in middle ground and were like finally kind of shook hands, like there was like a handshake agreement up at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
it's funny because like I always tell people that Swamp Thing hates Constantine, but then I have so many people coming back and saying, they're buddies, and I guess it depends which arc you read, but to me, Swamp Thing is always frustrated with Constantine and how he goes about shit because of exactly what Cypher just said. They're two different methods of
Ainsley said something that was seems to be more in line with what you were talking about. Do you mean John let Swamp Thing possess him so he can have a baby with his wife?
That's the one.
Yeah, that's
Michael Malone said it less eloquently, which is weird because I thought English were all like... I was expecting to be like, Constantine let Swamp Thing use to make sweet, glorious love with his wife.
Intercourse.
Intercourse.
Have some course of the inter-variety.
Oh, wow. You guys...
But instead he goes, this is what he actually wrote, Constantine let Swamp Thing use his body to bump uglies with his gas.
I mean, I kind of prefer this version over the abridged version, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Michael Malone. By the way, am I the only one? Like, I cannot just call him Michael. I have to say the whole thing.
The whole thing, Michael Malone.
It's a whole thing kind of name.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's like a pimp named Slipbag. You got to say the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like
the alliteration. You gotta have the.
So Steffi Leonardo said that he wants a Kingdom Come and I honestly very much enjoyed Kingdom Come.
It's awesome.
It's one of those where Shazam, or at the time he was Captain Marvel before the legalities, and Superman went at it, and it was one of those things where I was like, there's only been teased in animated series. When I'm like, bro, this comic, it was so beautiful. I loved it. And mind you,
it's one of the few interiors that Alex Ross has drawn. Normally he does covers. He only does a handful of interiors, and it's really a sick art.
Yep.
I enjoy Kingdom Come, like the aftermath of a world that outgrew heroes in the DC universe, which is something that is, kind of inconceivable since these, everything is surrounded their heroes. They're like pariahs, and so having Superman basically say, "Hey, I'm out of retirement, bro. Let me fix shit up." It was fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah. Hey, so did you guys know that David Bowie's son directed Moon in 2009?
Yeah.
I did not know that was David Bowie's son.
Directed what?
He directed Moon in 2009. That movie with I think it's Sam Rockwell, is it?
Sam Rockwell, he's on the moon. Yeah. He's been there for so long that he gets lonely and starts to lose. It's weird. It's crazy, but it's good. It's actually pretty good.
He's doing a comic book sequel to it. To Moon. Yeah, what? because he did a 2018 Netflix series called Mute. Then he wanted to tell a story that was so vast it would need a crippling budget to get it filmed. So now he's doing it in comic book form to try and ease those those financial burdens. But yeah, he's a British-born, LA-based son of David Bowie and his first wife, Angie. So in his Mooniverse trilogy, Mooniverse, yeah, he's going to have a comic as the final part, I guess.
Let's see how Judah segues this right here.
Wait, this could be flawless.
Speaking of comic books that are spin-offs or sequels of already existing movies,
nice.
I finally got around to reading this by John Pack, John Wick.
Pretty good, right?
This is a prequel comic, and it's so badass. It's like another John Wick movie, basically.
Yeah,
so, it's pretty awesome.
They're
actually in that, right? It's like him in Russia or something. Is it? Where is he?
No. This is him just starting out becoming an assassin.
Cool.
So you get some John Wick backstory, And you also, the guy who's like the concierge at the Continental, who's also like, he's you see what a badass he is too. So it's pretty dope. And the art's really good.
I think I've read it on Kindle, but it's been a while. Sorry, Sapper, go ahead.
I just like them for one scene and one scene only, right?
Ooh, what? Dislike what?
The concierge, like no, the concierge, like the dude.
Oh man, I thought we were gonna have to sign off and be like, hey, say goodbye to I'm not gonna.
I love me some Juan Wick, right?
And that's three.
Yeah, but like that one, and the third one, the one scene where like when they're getting stormed by like the souped up stormtrooper, like everything's bulletproof, and like he goes back, I'm like, hey, what the hell? He goes like, hey, try these armor piercing. And the first thing I thought was like, you know what? We could have started with this, right?
Yeah.
We could have just. And that's why I hate him. Like you wanted John to die.
You never remember something too late. You're never like, oh yeah, that's right. People are people.
Yeah,
folks are folks.
I get it, but you know what I mean. If I am a trained assassin, you would think that I'm not gonna go like, I'm gonna go with the best thing I got. You know what I'm saying? Plus that, and I grew up watching anime, and you still hate the whole. Well, none of that worked, but I still got that one technique. And I'm like, stop with that. You know what I'm saying? Why are you letting him power up?
I'm a trained member of the military, and I still forget my boots once in a blue moon. You know what I mean?
I've forgotten an entire uniform on a TDY before. I'm just saying. That's a true story.
But again, trained assassins, United States Air Force.
Yeah, but we're TAC
It's a specialty.
We're TAC V. So trained assassins is pretty much a TAC V. That's.
TAC V's are trained assassins of TAC peeing. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so just to let me tell you something. This is why I love One Punch Man. One Punch Man is a lot smarter than a lot of people give it credit for.
It is.
There's a scene where the was it what?
It's woke.
It's woke. Is it woke?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll explain why.
All right.
Cypher, I just saw your water bottle. It's amazing.
Yeah. It seems completely impractical, by the way. Like, if I'm really thirsty, like getting through the skinny handle part, like.
Hey, you know what's weird? I noticed that before.
I did not shake weight this shit.
I noticed that
only when it gets gathered in the bottom. Just give me some water.
I can see
this how rumors start, right? He's like, oh, apparently Cypher's over there fucking squeezing water like this and shit. Nah, man.
Oh, well, you're thirsty? It's okay if you're thirsty.
Fucking 2 hands, bitch.
Cypher, I noticed that, and my mind immediately normalized it to the point where I didn't notice it. Like, I noticed it, I was like, oh, is he also curling? And then my mind was like, oh no, it's a water bottle. Move on. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, I just immediately normalized it as soon as I saw it.
That's why you and me work so well together back in the
day. I thought the last time when you were with Nerdishiro, I think about stupid shit like this, about the water and all that, because when you did it, I heard all this like sloshing around, and then I started thinking about like the physics behind the skinny tube handle part in the middle. I'm like, dude, if I'm really thirsty, that bottle looks like a pain in the ass now.
But hey, first of all, let's get this out the way, right? This is a novelty, right? It was a gift. However, it worked for its intended purposes. It gave me water. It hydrated me, and Rhi, who's complimenting right now, this is the only one that matters because you're a hater. She was like, I just noticed your water bottle. That's really cool. Conversation piece. Now we just became besties.
It is.
So, Robo, you raggedy bitch. Here's my thing.
Oh,
wow. Story.
I think we're skipping a couple levels here. No one makes fun of my water bottle.
Greatest comic who sadly and unimaginably have not been made into a movie and premise screams to the big screen. 100 bullets is what
Ryan
Chef says. That'd be rad. I would love to see that.
That's one of his best works. I definitely agree.
Yep, really great series. I've got another headline for you. So, a comic book writer is helping a village mount a fight back against the economic impact of the coronavirus. Alan Grant, who is known for his work on Judge Dredd and Batman, has helped dozens of local residents where he lives to produce their own comic chronicling their struggles with COVID-19. It's being sold to help generate funds for Revitalize Monave, which was set up to sustain businesses and boost the village's economy. But the art looks sick. So have a look if you can find it. Go buy a copy if you can afford it. It looks really fun.
Alan Grant.
Yes.
That's a name I have not heard since. That's some old school shit right there.
Yeah,
Good
man.
for him.
Yeah. Oh, I want to ask you guys. This has been big news this week. Ruby Rose left Batwoman.
Links help me out.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So I've been following it pretty closely. And the first speculation was that it was because
thanks,
she had
Link.
just
We're
had
gonna
some
get back
surgery.
to that.
Please.
She say what?
No, sorry.
Keep talking. I'm talking to the comments.
Oh, so the first reports that were wrong was that it was because of her surgery, that she was injured and she couldn't keep with the rigorous shooting schedule and the stunts and stuff. But then, more recently reported, she had some personal issues on set. Apparently, she was having a lot of trouble with the strenuous shooting schedule. It was long. It was like 12 to 14-hour shooting days, and it was a lot of physicality from her. I mean, she's the main character of a superhero movie, and eventually she had she was clashing with the production team, the director and stuff, and they just say it was like a mutual decision between the director and her that this just isn't a good fit. So she left the franchise, but they are intent on recasting her. They're already holding auditions, looking at reels, and floating names. So the show will go on.
So the actress from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the chick that plays Rose or whatever her name is, has said that she would love to play Stephanie Beatrice. That's her.
I checked her out after that announcement. She is a good choice.
I think she would fit it well. What do you think, Cypher and Robo? Would you go for that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. I mean she's Latina. It's nice to see more Latinas on screen.
Yeah,
that is true.
More Latinas?
More Latinas, bro.
Well, that show in particular, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like, it was funny. I was watching some behind the scenes because the two lead actresses are Latina, and they were saying, like, they've never been in a show where they would pick more than one Latina woman. So they were like, they thought they were competing against each other, but then they ended up working together, which is pretty fucking exciting. It's nice to see the landscape change a bit.
I'm kind of weird to ask, for that question, because is Batwoman considered part of the Arrowverse?
Yes.
It's part of the universe. Yeah.
So I gave up on the Arrowverse by season 3 of the Flash, and I think season 4 or 5 of the Arrow, and I tried watching the Legends. Not because I don't mind a little cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Flash, which is like basically Dawson Creek but with superheroes. Like I don't mind that. You know what I mean? I just got it got to a point where they Walking Dead me. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like with the Flash, every season. My name is Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest man alive. And every season, if we kind of find out, no, you're not, dude.
Yeah.
You got Reverse Flash, you got Zoom, you got
a patch of ice on the floor, your arch nemesis. So
you know what I mean? And it was like, I got tired of the speedster antagonist. In the Arrow, oh my god, dude! Like he goes like, my name is Oliver Queen, and for 5 years I was stuck on that island. Every season you find out that he spent less and less time on that island. Like he was there a total of 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point he was in China. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, stop bitching. You know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't even there that long, dude. Like, and it got to a point where it became even cheesier and cheesier, and I'm like, I'm done. You know, I give up.
Yeah, it's those. I noticed those things, but for me, it's even more superficial because, listen, I always say this: it's 2020, man. It's the new age. We have prestige TV. We got HBO. We got all these other great channels that have great shows with high production, movie level of production.
Do that TV level anymore.
I just don't have the tolerance for stuff that looks like made for TV shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Can't.
I totally agree. Yep. Because they don't have any excuse these days. Like, there's so much. All 4 of us could make something that probably looks better than what they produce. You know what I mean? With the technology and shit we have available today, there's just no excuse for it. Who would you cast though as Batwoman if you could pick anyone?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
It's weird because, for example, Ruby Rose, when I saw her, like that she got cast, I immediately thought like that makes perfect fucking sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
however, the whole again, weird to ask this because the Batwoman thing, actually the whole Bat family thing, I started having an issue where, it just keeps getting larger and larger. You know what I'm saying? Where like, in this particular case, it's Bruce Wayne's cousin, right? And I grew up with a Batman mythos that works alone. He has no family. The only person he has his family is the child he abducted, to fight alongside him or Alfred, right? So every time like this whole extended Batflame grows up, like he can form his own mini Justice League, right? Where all these, so I never was interested in the whole Bat family. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, I don't care about Batwoman. I don't care about none of the hell.
I kind of know where you're coming from. Like, I like those early, like, long Halloween stories that are very not Bat family oriented, where it's just a lone and unafraid Dark Knight. However, Ellen Page would be a good Batwoman. That's my name that I'm throwing in the hat.
Ellen Page, nice. That's a really good
choice.
choice.
So it has to be a gay actress. That they've already committed to a. They've committed to a gay because Batwoman's a gay character. And
yeah, but why does it have to be a gay actress if you're acting?
Because, well, it's a good conversation to have, but people want to be represented not just in the character, but also they want, it's like, it's the same reason why they don't want white people playing black people or Italian people playing Cuban people. You know what I mean? People want to be represented not just in the character, but in the cast. So and I've seen a lot of things from the LGBTQ plus community that people want their Batwoman to be a gay actress.
What if she's bisexual, like Stephanie? Was that too?
I don't know. I think queer. I think we're not in that community, so but I would say that the only thing I can parallel it with is people of color. And I will say that you look at movies like Selena. Now Selena is Mexican, played by J-Lo, who's Puerto Rican. If we're talking that the character, her ethnicity is important, it's a part of what defines her. Like if I was gonna do a movie on a Puerto Rican revolutionary or something, then yeah, it would be important that I think the actor. But if it's really just being Hispanic, then whatever. Now, if it's a queer LGBTQ type character, then I don't know. I would think if I kind of look at the people of color side of it, then sure. But definitely not straight, right? I mean, I guess we could agree on that it shouldn't be a straight woman pretending to be gay on screen, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm all for representation. I think it's ridiculous when people are like, oh, they have to. It was the same thing with like Starfire when Titans came out and everyone was like, oh, she's not orange. You know what I mean? Or she doesn't look like the character. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's just a bit ridiculous when their entire job is to act a character. You don't necessarily have to.
I don't think it's a hard line. I think it's kind of a nuanced issue, and I think there's pretty good points kind of on both, like looking at it all the different ways to look at it. At some point, someone has to act. At some point, you're being something you're not. But there's also other societal issues around that make people feel better when they see themselves represented in the character. So
I think Juder's right in this particular. I mean, it's a nuance. You know what I'm saying? Like in the grand scheme of things, like if somebody can do the job, well, extremely well, like who cares? But to me, like. Growing up in Dominican Republic, for example, we used to get excited when we hear a Hispanic, especially like Dominican, like on TV for whatever reason. I mean, first example is baseball. You know what I'm saying? The time the Red Sox had the majority of Dominican players, right? It'll make you a Red Sox fan by default just because, like, oh, that's our people. You know what I'm saying? So when you translate it into movies, you know what I'm saying? Especially of like a comic book character like Blue Beetle, I guess is like the first one to come to mind, like somebody who's Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? And you see it's not being played by a Jorge, it's being played by a George.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It kind of, you feel a little disappointed. You know what I'm saying?
But jokes aside, are you saying played by a white guy instead of Hispanic?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, and to me, like, would it bother me? Would it stop me from watching the movie? No, I'll still go watch it. However, like
it would bother me, and I probably wouldn't go watch the movie. But
you're you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying like I look at I look like
which one of you guys speaks for all Hispanics, by the way, just so we can
he does. I can only speak for myself. Yeah.
I would like to speak Spanish. I mean, the one who can actually communicate with the Hispanics.
That's right.
No, like all jokes aside though, like I get why, that is needed. You know what I'm saying? Like I always
I'm all for jobs for LGBT. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a queer person myself. But I think the acting thing where people are like, oh, they have to fit this certain. It's just a bit ridiculous to me when their entire job is to chameleon and be someone else. But I do understand the points you're making at the same time. I get that it's a nuanced issue. Glynis mentioned Doom Patrol. And Doom Patrol Season 2 premiere date has been revealed by HBO Max. So
it's
I
going to
think
go to
coming
it's
out
going to HBO Max, not
Well,
DC Universe.
Yes, it's HBO Max streaming service. It'll launch later this month. June 25th is when Season 2 for Doom Patrol comes out. Do you reckon you guys will watch any of that?
I haven't even watched one,
No.
so
Yeah.
No,
I think Brendan Fraser's in it.
I can't lie to you. I can't just sit here and lie to you and tell you that I'm gonna watch it. I'm not
That's
gonna
I
happen.
watched. I know we're gonna talk about Stargirl
good.
later, but I watched Stargirl. I mean, it has its place. If I want some fun, kind of like turn my brain off and let's watch laser beams shoot out of people's hands, then yeah, sure, why not?
I found it had heart, as Matt Barlow would say. It had a lot of heart. But yes, flip. Oh, this is good.
Oh, hey, good news, guys. How
Shoot.
about Umbrella Academy?
I was just going to say that, yeah,
See?
July 31st. That's another thing that Judah probably won't want to watch.
I will watch Umbrella Academy when I get around to it. Okay.
I liked it. I saw the
Umbrella Academy is literally dope.
Yeah,
To my
I
brain.
like it.
literal dope.
Literally
Yeah, it was-
dope. I just put it in my veins.
Yeah,
like would you
Sure,
would you give a stranger a hand job to get money to watch more Umbrella Academy? Like
That's why I've only seen it 1.5 times through, because I don't want to get to that point. But eventually, yeah, I mean, just that's the science. Like, come on.
like you see Robo, like he's lost like 80 pounds, strung out in the out.
Just one more episode. Come on,
Just one more episode.
You know, dude, if it gets to that point, just ask for my Netflix password. I got you. You know what I mean? Like you don't. It doesn't have to get to there.
Oh, thanks, man.
And then
Yeah.
we'll talk offline.
I'm good for
about,
it, man.
you know.
I'm good for it. I'll get you back.
Come on, dude. Just,
Hey, so I keep doing this. I know it's alive when we press, but I wanted to get to a point, and this is going way back. And we agreed that we weren't going to do this, but I wanted to do this one time.
okay.
Link Snake threw it in there. He goes that he was talking about. It reminded me because he said that One Punch Man was the greatest. There was a point when we said, why don't superheroes ever use their ultimate power when it's time, right? We always see the fights where that one move, right, going Super Saiyan or going Avatar mode or whatever it is, and you ask yourself, why didn't you just do that from the beginning? And One Punch Man actually addresses that in season 2 with fucking Machine Gun Dude. And it's like you have the hero hunter coming out of the deal, and Machine Gun Dude does the thing that we always say, why don't you ever do it? And he's like, chug, 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 I'm not fucking around. Boom! And he just fucking lets it all out. And then, you know, he's wounded, he's fucked up. The dude's like all bloody and stuff. He's like, that's all. That was all you could do right there. Like that was everything. That one thing. And he's like, even wounded, I'm about to fuck you up now. And anyways, we can press through the rest of the news, but I just want to make sure before we get too
Oh,
far.
I love that. That's great. I'm
No, what-
pretty excited.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to go back to Umbrella Academy season 2 because
Yes.
spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen season 1. They all
Like Judah.
disappear back in time at the beginning of season 1. So I think season 2 is going to be a really interesting setting and probably have some really fucking dope music because it'll be like
always, right? Yeah.
back in the 70s or whatever. Yeah. So I'm hoping it'll be really fun to watch.
I love that there's like these shows coming out that I haven't read the comics for because like it's all new for me. Like, you know what I mean? So when you read the comics and then you watch the show, it's like, I think I know what's happening next, but let me see how they do it. Versus just like complete blank brain, like, you know.
I actually do that retroactively. Like I'll watch the show and like, because again I'm weird and like somebody has to tell me like, you know, that's actually based on a comic, and I'm like, oh no shit, right?
That's not how I sound. Come on.
I mean, we all know who we're talking about. No, but anyways, but I will go back and then I'll read the comics, right? And Umbrella Academy and The Boys is the only two examples I can think of that I can say like, yeah, you guys did it better than the comics, right? Where I don't know if you guys seen The Voice on Amazon Prime, which season 2 got announced as of it's actually completed.
Can't wait.
Carl Urban's so good.
When I saw the Boys and I read the comics, I was like, the comics they were doing shit just for the sake of the shock value. Like, let's make this extremely
very Ennis, very
Very
Ennis.
Ennis.
You know what I mean? Where like the show, they
We had a
actually
whole talk about this. I feel.
They're more developed. in
yeah,
the
they're more
show.
developed, and they did it for like to kind of go parallel with real life issues that we have going on here on on
I
reality.
felt the same about Umbrella Academy, actually. I felt like the characters were more fleshed out, in the show.
Umbrella.
Did you guys hear about Sweet Tooth being made into a Netflix show from Jeff Lemire, or however you say his name? I haven't read that one, but...
Sweet Tooth. Every time I hear Sweet Tooth, I think of Twisted Metal.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, this one's that, you've probably seen the comic book cover. It's the guy with, like, the horns, and he's, like, sitting there with he's got, like a plaid shirt on, like a flannelette. But, yeah, it's a Image Comics series, I think, potentially.
Okay.
And it's really, really good from what I've heard. But they're adapting it for Netflix, and it's going to have Christian Convery from Beautiful Boy, Nonso Anazi from Game of Thrones, James Brolin from Westworld as the voice of the narrator. It has 40 issues. It ran between 2009 to 2013. Oh, sorry, Vertigo. I think it's a Vertigo one. So they've already adapted Preacher, Lucifer, iZombie. So now that I think Why the Last Man is in the works as well for a TV show.
That's a cool ass story.
The Last Man.
Why the Last Man?
That's also Brian K. Vaughan, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy is the last male in a world that's only women now.
Oh wow.
And
that actually sounds
really
miserable.
Yeah, it can be.
I mean,
yeah, no, it sounds miserable. Like my fantasy brain can make it not miserable, but in real life, like you know damn well it wouldn't be that way. You'd be in a fucking, you would be in a fucking cattle cage, and there'd be a fucking plastic tube up your fucking beehole, and then you would be a fucking cattle. It would not be as cool as we'd like it to be.
That reminds.
That stuff's addressed in the comic. Just the way you said that, I just want to make it clear that there's nothing miserable about lots of women. That's not the problem.
Full disclosure.
It's the being the only man that Robo's talking about.
I thought that was clear, but all right. Thank you for that.
Okay. Oh, I've got a sick story for you guys. I just remembered. Remember Stormy Daniels?
Yeah. Is she gonna make a comic book?
She's gonna be in a comic book.
We should get fucking Stormy Daniels on the show. That would be so fucking dope.
That'd be amazing.
What was Trump like in the set?
Let's go for it. Let's go for it while we're the only people that are thinking about it, and be the first comic show to get Stormy Daniels. That would be amazing.
That would be so cool.
Stormy Daniels Space Force. It's coming in autumn with Tidal Wave Productions. They've released some art for it, which looks fucking sick. It looks dope.
I'm gonna throw it up here.
It's kind of like, she's described it as Barbarella meets Star Trek meets Stripperella. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched Stripperella, but I love that shit. That's Pamela Anderson.
I love Stripperella with Pam Ann.
Did you say, what was the name of it? Stormy Daniels what?
Space Force.
Space Force, okay.
She's going to be in space, yeah. She's got a little laser gun and like a little jumpsuit with her tits out, and it looks rad. It looks really sick. So I think that's coming, in autumn. And then we've got, there's another one, bio comic book titled Female Force Stormy Daniels, which is a little bit more campy. So yeah, she's going to have like some series, which is so fucking weird to think about.
I'm going to email her as soon as this is over. I'm emailing her representation to get her on the show. That'd be.
She might expect a bit more money than we can afford, but you should give it a go.
Yeah, she's smart. She doesn't do shit for free, so.
Yeah.
Hey, I got $20 right now. Let's make this happen.
$20?
We have to market it as we're doing something for her for free by giving her free exposure. So.
Love it. Would you guys ever read a comic book series about Trump?
What is the premise?
Depends on the perspective.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
perspective would you read?
The one that isn't normalizing him and trying to there's right on both sides bullshit, I guess.
Yeah.
That side.
Yeah.
I will read it if Robo writes it.
I'd read a docudrama about him. If it was like an Oliver Stone documentary where it was just like, this is the comic version of the Trump administration. Yeah, I'd read that. Just like I'd watch a show that was like that. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a TV show like that. Have you seen it? My Cartoon President?
Yeah, I love that show. But,
yeah. It's good.
What's funny is it's supposed to be an anti-Trump show, but it really just reads like it really watches just like a documentary. Like it's.
Yeah.
Didn't Black Mirror did a parody about that too? With the.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think they did a video about this. It was like a cartoon that was run for president. That was like raunchy. It was meant to be a parody, but then it got like the attention. I forgot the episode, but yeah, Black Mirror did a parody, and it kind of goes hand in hand with Mr. Cheeto.
There's Space Force up. I threw that up on the screen.
a guy played a president in this country for
Actually,
like
it's
on
kinda
a soap opera or something, and then he got elected as president. I can't remember which country it was, but did you guys hear about that in the news? It's nuts. The world is just so. There are headlines that I read where I'm like, is this real? I read a headline yesterday. It was like, meet the rat that chews the holes in Kanye West's distressed clothing. I was like, is this real? I don't know. It was parody, but you just can't tell anymore.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that it used to be, I would say about not 4 or 5 years ago, I prided myself on being able to like, don't look at that. Like, that's clearly not real. That's bullshit. And even my parents, you know, they're kind of like coming into social media new. I'm like, Dad, don't share that, please. You know, type of stuff. But now you're absolutely right. We live in this upside down world where what's the stuff called hydrochloroquine or some shit like that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
You said methamphetamine?
it's yeah.
The stuff that
I'm like,
Trump's taking, yeah.
clearly nobody but crazies are taking this stuff. Like, this is like flat earther, anti-vaxxer realm.
Hydroxychloroquine.
And then I wake up in the morning, look at my phone. Trump says he's taking hydroxychloroquine, and I'm like, okay, yeah, right. Like, and then I'm like, oh my God, this is real. He put it on the video, like.
Your president told you to inject
Stranger
bleach.
than
That can't be real.
Can I say that like a day in Robo's head will be an absolute adventure? You know what I'm saying? Like, I like if there's like a way I can like just a day in Robo's head. Just like I want to be there when he like grabs his phone in his first thought. I just like thought bubbles like and like or like little gifts popping up. I just want to see because you know what I mean. I'm gonna tell you because I'm an instigator. I will admit, right? There's been times that I will tag Robo on a controversial post and just with the comment, bro, what you think? And all of us, and it's just like, it's just poetry to me, right? Because I'm probably like one of the only people that that tells him like, it's crazy. I know you're serious. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you're not really like that. You trolling? Like, no,
I know trolling. Yeah, I'm like.
I love this dude. You know what I mean? That's Uncle Robo right there. Motherfucker serious. He is probably his third iPhone. Because those rant at work, I'll be like going to his office like, hey man, I tag you on something. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, I'm working. But you see this motherfucker right here. And I'm like,
can't resist.
Lynette says, before you waste your time on a Trump comic, please watch Doom Patrol instead.
I
Michael
promise.
says, I can't afford a rat. I have to chew the holes in my own clothes and my mum's. Stormy Daniels has really great ... eyes. Link Snake says, Robert Downey Jr. is one of the producers of Sweet Tooth.
Yeah,
which is
facts.
pretty exciting.
Yeah, facts,
Yep. American Vampire needs a TV series too. Yep, I'd watch the shit out of that. Ainsley says, I only got through the first 2 episodes of The Boys because it's so different from the comics. Yeah, that's fair. A lot of shows are like that, I guess. This one's kind of a sad headline. IDW has let go of some employees permanently that they had furloughed. I think about a dozen were let go by the publisher and broadcaster last week, including David Hedgecock, Denton Tipton, Gilberto Lescano. So it really sucks that they have to do it, but they didn't really have a choice.
I think they just did like a merger. Was it with man? I wish I knew you were gonna bring that up because I was just talking to Sam Stone about it. So IDW is in like a really weird place. They're like many other just like Boom and Dynamite and even Dark Horse. They're kind of in this weird transitional period. And they've been letting a lot of people go. So it's actually kind of a dark time for the industry in general. I think Image is the only publisher that's doing really well.
Yeah.
And it's because they give themselves so little overhead, I think.
Yeah.
But
sorry, I think you're right.
They have the smartest business model. But yeah, people are struggling trying to sell comic books right now.
Just a reminder too, if what Juder's saying is that the publishers are suffering, then our local comic book stores are also suffering. So go give them some money because otherwise you won't see them anymore. Try and keep them alive.
For sure.
What else have we got? So we do have some new shit. Mount Auburn emergency physician authors an apocalypse era comic book. So this Boston-based emergency physician, he has written this book called By the Time I Get to Dallas. It's supposedly really awesome. Latest edition came out on May 15th. I would fully recommend it if you guys haven't heard of it. There's all these cool photos of him in all his like PPE gear, but it's like comic book themed and shit. So that's pretty rad. We've seen some of that on the pages too, like some of the emergency workers have been posting their handmade masks and stuff, which is pretty fucking sick. Thank you for all the stuff that you do for us, keeping us alive and well and healthy.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being... Can you sing that whole like TikTok version?
I'm being a friend.
I thought we were gonna harmonize. That's just part of it. Oh, sorry, I was trying to do the Spanish version.
I love it.
Get it.
There's another one that's coming out from Random House, Stepping Stones. It's for kids. A mother moves her daughter, a true city kid, to the country where the child will be surprised to find over time that she thrives on the pleasures of hard work, fresh milk, and the natural world. She's comics obsessed.
Fresh milk.
Fresh milk. Have you guys ever drunk milk
roll.
straight out of a cow?
I roll.
Yeah, I actually have.
Like sucked its udders.
No, like squirted the other
like-
into your mouth.
Yeah. Non-pasteurized milk. It's a. Never mind.
I heard something. This guy at work, I'm not going to call him out by name, but his name rhymes with Schmivens. But anyway, he told me something. He told me something disgusting about milk straight from a cow's udder.
A lot of pus. Yeah.
It's that there's pus and blood in it, and that one of the reasons why they first started mass producing chocolate milk and strawberry milk was to cover up the discoloration.
Oh my god!
It's a fact.
Well,
So I'm not gonna. I shit on the super religious enough, so I'm not gonna go further and shit on other people's things. But I will say
Can you
this:
please?
there is a movement that is it's a very homeopathic kind of like all natural air quotes movement to do raw milk. And the reason why we pasteurized milk in the first place is because of all the diseases that were killing people back in the 1900s. Non-pasteurized milk. Maybe you taste it. If you like it, it tastes better than, knock yourself out. I had 2 shots of vodka this morning. I'm not over like that's literal poison. Like I'm not
This
saying
morning?
before this thing. Well, this started at 12, which means I took 2 shots around 11:30. So literally this morning.
I guys, hold on, flag on play. Is everything okay?
Huh?
Is that why you had that sitting there this whole time?
Oh no, it's my headband. I have several.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so
Is that what was your question? Is that what?
is everything okay?
Yeah. I just like
usually when I
shut the fuck up, Lauren. What? No.
fuck, government.
Oh, I forgot to mute it. Fuck.
Shit. I know, right? Like.
Polly the Russian says vodka is not poison, Robo. You can cure an ulcer with vodka, so it's technically medicine.
You know what? Here's the only evidence I have to support that. I've never had an ulcer, so clearly it's true. Yeah, for sure. That's where the best. Michael says that's where the best flavor is in milk: extra pus and blood.
Oh god. See, I went on a field trip when I was a kid, and the guy was like, "Anyone want to drink straight out of the cow?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And it was warm, and I didn't anticipate it. But now I'm like, what other shit did I swallow?
My father owns a farm in Dominican Republic, right?
So
I thought, well, yeah, it's cool. I never want to work there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it sounds like a lot of hard work. So now I do YouTube videos.
Soon this farm will be yours. I'm gonna join the Air Force. So
I shit you not, bro. Like, so next week I'm gonna have my mom's on the stream, and that's gonna be one of the things.
That's dope. All right.
Yeah, because one of the things I was gonna bring up is that
Dominican Mother's Day, right?
Yeah, Dominican Mother's Day, right? Like my mom always makes fun of me because my dad will be like, "Yo, one day, man, you're gonna be the head of this family and you're gonna run this shit." And I'm like, "Dude, you have other kids. Skip me." Like,
I have a question for all of you, but starting with Juder. Would you rather have udders or deer antlers?
Deer antlers.
Antlers.
Like
Antlers
full-on
in a heartbeat.
Full-on
Yeah,
deer
easy.
antlers.
Easy
But you wouldn't be able to fit into cars or airplanes.
I get over
They
it.
would
I get
rebuild
over it.
cars
Like,
to accommodate
they'll make
people with antlers.
I
They
can't
will
wear
make a
shorts with
special car
udders.
just for me because I have deer antlers.
And if
Like,
you don't build me a car that accommodates my antlers, I'm fucking suing, and then I'll be rich.
You
on
would,
top of it,
I
so.
swear, man. Like you just had to take something so metaphorical and be like, but if they don't count, if I'm not included in this, Oh man, but I will say this though.
I'm gonna fucking sue.
100%.
Yeah.
I can tweak out my antlers. You know what I'm saying? Like I go to like an antler barbershop, well, whatever, antler shop and shit. Like, hey man, yo, just make it look.
Pulling these out. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can't do shit with others. Like I can't wear t-shirts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they tingly? Are they like? Do they get sore like nipples? You know what I mean? I don't know. It'll be uncomfortable. I feel like the antlers will be plus headbutting a motherfucker with antlers.
You'd never have to buy milk again if you had udders.
Oh,
well,
I don't need.
I don't feel good like squeezing like let me get it.
I'll put it this way, Rhea. If they gave me the option between nothing happening to me and me having antlers, I'd think about it. If they gave me the option of nothing happening to me and udders, it's a hard no. You know what I mean? Like,
Michael
I'd consider the antlers.
This doesn't trigger people.
Michael says udders have milk for my white Russian drinks. That's just like your opinion, man.
Good reference.
Hey, so we're at about an hour and a half right now. I did want to the whole reason why. Plus, he's a wonderful friend to the show and always brings some life to it. No, I'm not. But I wanted to go ahead and drop Cypher World. Before we go, don't forget to hit up Cypher World after this. Also, by the way, the likes, I'm looking at it right now. 12 viewers, 1 like. Can everybody just do me a favor? Click the X on the chat. Click like. Reopen the live chat. If you like what you're saying, because I think we forget it. And I was watching a live yesterday actually, Jacqueline something or another, and I realized I was doing the same thing because you see the chat, and for some stupid reason, YouTube blocks the like buttons up there. So you have to close the chat, hit the like, reopen. If you're new here, like if you're from freaking Cypher's crew, go ahead and click subscribe too, and you'll see when he's on our show.
And ring the bell.
And ring the bell. But this is not over. This sounds like I was closing out, but what I did want to talk is, Cypher, do you have anything to bring up? Talk video games, man. What are you playing? What are you about to stream?
So, real quick for everybody, I actually have no idea what I'm about to stream. So on Monday, your boy is gonna do a 24-hour stream, right?
Just straight, like you're gonna stay up. You just gotta go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Are you gonna shit there? Like, do you have like a bucket that you're gonna be shitting into, or?
Yes.
I mean, would that get you into the stream? I'll say yes. I'm lying, but you know.
Are you going 24 hours without taking a shit?
No, dude, no, of course not. That's impossible.
He can get up to go do his business, come back and shit.
Yeah, like.
So we have to watch your. So we're gonna watch your chair for like 20 minutes while you're taking a dump, and then.
Dude, first of all, I'm gonna leave my phone here, so it won't be 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it's only 20 minutes.
It's only 20 minutes. My feet only fall asleep when I bring my phone in there.
Otherwise, that's what I'm saying though. Like back in the day was my Game Boy. You know what I mean? Like otherwise, nah. No, it's gonna be 20. Wait, first of all, that's the question you're asking me about the 20.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, so big announcement here, guys. Check this out. I'm gonna do 24 hours gaming straight. It's pretty hard. Okay. Questions? Are you gonna be taking a shit at your seat or at the bathroom?
No. Okay, so.
Natural curiosity. I apologize. Continue.
I like it.
I mean, oh god damn. Anyway, you don't
know what you're gonna play.
So wait, I just got Horizon Zero Dawn. Yes, it's a shame.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a comic of that coming out too. Looks fucking sick.
Can you beat the game in 24 hours? You think?
Oh, I don't know if you probably could. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna divide up my time. You know what I mean? I'm like, this probably gonna throw some Call of Duty time with the bros. I'm gonna play some Smash Brothers. You know what I mean? Because the other set of homies and whatnot. And I'm just gonna, and for the most part, it's just gonna be me chatting up, just hanging out, but playing games and whatnot. So it's more of a hangout session. So it's gonna be challenging, you know what I mean? But it can be done. Now
this is on Twitch, right?
Huh?
This is gonna be on Twitch, right?
On Twitch, yes.
We'll throw the link in
so
the
yeah, so I'm gonna do 24 hours. So it's funny because my cousin Link Snake, right? Me and him, we just had a long conversation a couple of days ago about games and whatnot. I mean, he just went through Sekiro. Now he's going through Devil May Cry 5 and the whole nine. I was like, and like it made me realize, like, damn. Ever since I started streaming, I've played all the big ticket games. You know what I mean? Like all the ones that gotten a lot of the one that interests me, right?
Right.
So when I was talking to Robo yesterday about gaming news and whatnot, like I was really pondering. You know what I mean? Like aside from Ghost of Tsushima that's coming out this summer and Last of Us 2, which is the most highly anticipated games, it's quiet out there. Sony has not released no detail aside from the logo and the controller of the PS5, right? So there's people saying they're emulating what they did for the PS4, where they only rolled out their release for on E3, but obviously E3 got canceled. So the rumor is that they're dropping some news information after these two games release. Now Xbox is doing the complete opposite. Xbox throwing everything they have. Look, this is where our games are gonna look. This is what we can do. And I ain't gonna lie, the X series or the Scarlet series, whatever that they're calling themselves, is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
If you is like everything that it can do, everything is advertised. However, the one gimmick that always lose me is what games are you gonna give me? I mean, right now they're trying to secure all these licenses to drop more exclusive or not. But at the same time, also for those who, if you're a PC player, if you have a PC, don't bother buying an Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Because all the games are gonna come more cross-platform. Microsoft game be cross-platform with Xbox and PC. So there's no drive. But like right now, when it comes down to gaming news, everything is quiet because everybody's just anticipating the big transition. Not even Nintendo is speaking. Nintendo's been securing some other patents when it comes down to like readers for games and whatnot. So I think with COVID-19 has shifted everything to a standstill, right? Where Xbox is desperately trying to get back in the game. Sony, I think it's like such a overconfidence. Like, dude, we're fucking PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna buy? A fucking Xbox? You know what I mean? So the rumor is that Horizon Zero Dawn 2, God of War 5 or God of War 2, depending on if you believe it's a reboot or not, and it is looking like another Uncharted, or it's gonna be the launch titles. You know what I'm saying? However, this is all mere speculation. They're just going off of past behavior experiences when it comes to E3, and since E3 actually never happened, that's where we at. So it's crazy because like I spent last night after I got done talking to you this morning, I ain't find nothing worth telling. Hell, even IGN and all these gaming channels, they've been struggling. All they've been doing, like if you go to the pages of the videos or even their Instagram, they're showing like they're just doing anniversaries. Like 10, 20 years ago this came out. Because there's nothing out there. You know what I mean? Right now we're just waiting for these two last big titles to drop. Oh, and
the Mass Effect remix, they're making that.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
They're dropping.
Finally.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like a remaster, like the same game but better.
Better for the PS4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Now, rumor has it, and again, this is a huge rumor. They're actually gonna do something a little different with 3's ending. Make it more. Yeah.
I guess that means I gotta play all 3 again.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Time.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be more centered, because Mass Effect is just it's a gaming opera basically. Like all your choices up until the ending of 3, had a definitive consequence. So, they say that's what's gonna happen. However, me, EA, DICE, like all these, I just don't have faith. You know what I'm saying? Ubisoft just basically explain or drop hints why they haven't dropped another Splinter Cell, right? Why Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like people said, it's not even an Assassin's Creed, but they just slapped the title Assassin's Creed on it just for some traction. You know what I mean? Where people say, like, would it be better if it was just Valhalla, its own standalone title? And then recently it came to surface that they actually had a Prince of Persia game in development. They released a whole gameplay trailer and everything 8 years ago, and people are just now seeing the leak. And it looks amazing. It kind of makes me wish, like, damn, I wish to see another Prince of Persia. I want to see new IPs, and I'm kind of low key nervous about this new generation because right now it looks like we're gonna get sequels upon sequels or just remasters instead of companies taking new risk. And as a gamer, that shit is it's worrisome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Huh.
Damn. What is all these lengths?
Oh, it's all me.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
So Rhi, you deliberately messed up your hair after.
Sure did.
After that comment, and it's actually working. It's actually even cooler now. So.
Is it? Because it looks like someone just hit your mom just hit you really hard for no reason.
That's exactly what happened.
It looks
just
that's what Polly said.
I'm like, what? I'm going live. And you just don't fix your hair.
All right.
Where's my chocolate milk, Mom?
Speaking of.
okay. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, everyone watch Cypher when he's streaming because I'm gonna watch your 24-hour one, man. I'm gonna hop in and out because I want to see what the fuck that looks like. Like, by the end, are you gonna just be dead or?
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Well, at least close to it. You know.
The
what I mean?
last
Like,
2 hours is what I want to watch because you know there's gonna be things. Especially you sitting down too. Like you know there's gonna be because I've done it myself where you're just like playing like yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Here's the
Be
thing,
live
though,
as
like,
shit too.
You'll probably see him passed out my tongue like at hour 4. And she's like,
Yeah. Are you gonna try to like take some NyQuil and sleep up like before you start to get get a fresh start?
I have like this whole like
Regimen.
prep prep up plan that I have. Like now the problem is executing, right? And shameless plug is shameless. Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard too because tomorrow I got the chill spot over the YouTube episode.
Yeah, with Chef,
episode,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like I'll be like, okay, tomorrow I'm not doing nothing because I got a big day ahead of me on Monday. Yeah, but I was like, I got shit to do. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't be the first time I stayed up all night gaming and whatnot, but it will be the first time where I have to do it while trying to entertain, people. So you know what I mean? Like I feel like people keep telling me like it's hour 19 that gets the toughest. It's like really, the last 5 hours. That's where I'm like, all right, cool. I can see myself just not giving a fuck no more. Like, dude, y'all just gonna watch me like.
Hey, what if what's gonna be rough? Here's the deal: is if like how people are gonna come in and out. You got different time zones and shit. There's gonna be hours where nobody's with you, like with 0 viewers, and you're like, I gotta stay because what's gonna happen is we're all gonna wake up the next morning and be like, let's see what's going on Twitch. And if you bounced out because there was like that 3-hour time with no viewers.
You know what's crazy though? Okay,
film like a 5-hour recording of yourself.
A loop, yeah.
But you know what's crazy though? I feel like those 3 hours with no viewers will be it will be my break. Like I can shut the fuck up for like 3 hours and just
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be
go in there
because the first thing I'm imagining is just like, oh my god, I gotta say lo tigre for how like I'm gonna like chat with Bozeman. I mean like you know how he's so tired of doing the Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
That's gonna mean like, oh yo bro, lo tigre. I was like, oh, lo tigre.
Just wait till you blow up and you got thousands. You know what's gonna happen, right? So I noticed this. Blurred Without Fear. He's a dude. You should, if you never heard of him, you should follow him. So Blurred is a black nerd smashed together. I know you know, but like Blurred Without Fear is his channel, and he does mainly comic books, but also streams and all this stuff. And I noticed that people who get like a certain size, they learn to ignore the chat for the most part until you get super chat. And when you got so many people in your chat to where it's like, all right, now if you want me to respond, I can't be yelling Lo Tigre every time. You got to throw $2 on that shit or something.
Nice.
Oh, dude, no, 100%. Because even, again, my own not even cockiness, I guess my own insecurity, right? Because somebody said, like, yo, will you do a 24-hour stream? And I was like, bitch, if I get 100 subs on Twitch, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And like, people said, like, bet. And I'm like, ain't gonna happen. 2 days later, I was like, damn, y'all really paid $5 a month, you know what I'm saying, or $5 so watch me for 24 hours. But to me, it's also like, there's like has to be like a cynical part of that. It's like, bitch, suffer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to, you know what I mean? However, like, man, I've been like scouring like this. Like I was thinking, like, man, I'm gonna have to play Red Dead Redemption 2 all over again. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna take me all stream. You know what I'm saying? Trying to complete that bitch.
Worth it.
But it's also a very common thing on Twitch. Like people do like the 24-hour stream for charity, the 24-hour stream as a challenge, and all this. I'm on like that's cool and all. I'm just doing it because somebody, they people pay their money, and I'm like, hey, I guess I'm a content creator, ho, as you know what I'm saying. So it's gonna be a good time. So which is great because since Ray's on the other side of the world, so it's Michael Mullins. Like, hey, you guys get to watch me and not be inconvenienced by time differences. However, the quality of Cypher may differ. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get the first 6 hours, that'd be good. Like if you come in hour 15 and it's just me, like my shirt is like torn. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just.
Entertainment is not guaranteed.
No, at this point, it's just basically trying. If I still had my heart monitor, I would have plugged it into the screen. Honestly, just
a marathon. It's like the marathon or triathlon for nerds, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now's a
man.
good time to take up crack. Is all I'm saying. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
Stop
I
it.
don't understand. Hey, so I threw up a quick. You see that? That's what I was doing the whole time. I'm like, let me just throw something together real quick.
I'm tell you, like, why is there a flower in my hair? Like,
That's actually pretty good. I like that.
I like it. You know, I'm just trying to figure out, like, you know, and that smile. Like, I love the smile because it's false advertising. Because I promise you, after the 10th hour mark, I'm not gonna be happy. Like, I'm gonna be like, bro, my ass hurts. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna wake up super fresh, Lo Tigre, and you're just gonna stare at the camera.
I'm gonna create a command. I shit you not. I'm gonna create a command, right? And every time somebody jumps in Lo Tigre, I'm just gonna press a button, and it's just gonna be like and energize me, like a pass me saying Lo Tigre.
Like a GIF.
Like,
But the real you's like,
you know what I'm saying?
what am I
It's
doing?
like when people say, like, when they read at me, like, I'm dead, and it's just with the. Oh, that was funny. That's gonna be me right there, and but
Exhale
I mean,
sharply
like,
through nose. That's what I'm gonna start using instead of LOL. Exhale sharply through nose. ESTN.
Polly says we used to have public executions. Michael says suffering is 100% guaranteed.
So again, like, I was not thrilled about the whole 24-hour, and it's better than what Nerder suggested.
I wouldn't be either.
Like Nerder was like, well, if you get 100 subs, you need to wear this French maid outfit. You know what I mean? I'm saying he's been trying to put me. I'm like, look, dude, like, I don't know what it is, what's going on at home, but I'm not rocking a French maid out. Maybe for 1,000 subs. Yo, like,
Yes.
if I get real, like,
1,000 subs will be worth it.
Like if I get 1,000.
You heard it here first, everyone. 1,000 subs.
1,000 subs. Let me add that to the thing real quick. Hold on,
Like,
because I'm gonna post this later.
1,000 subs on Twitch, you will see me, bro, out and the feather duster.
There's no limit. There's no limit to how far you'll debase yourself for those subs. So.
No.
That's just putting on a costume.
Like,
I mean, the
like,
baseness of like, punch yourself in the face now.
But my sister always says this, right? Every ass has a price. It's the equivalent to whatever you got going on in your life, right?
Right.
You know, that's why crackheads, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll do weird shit for crack, right? Because they're like at the lowest.
Umbrella
right?
Academy, just kind of like,
That's
you know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like, hey, 1,000 subs on Twitch, will you put a French maid? Like, guaranteed, 100%. I'll squeeze in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll muffin topic. I don't care. My whole point is that, you know, your boy needs to get paid.
Yeah.
Plus, I got
There's
the
definitely there's a dollar amount where I'll do virtually anything.
Yeah,
Once you $1 billion, it's hard for me to think of things I wouldn't do for $1 billion. But I was thinking about body parts I would sacrifice. I would not sacrifice either of my eyes for any price. I think that's the one thing. Like, I feel like eyes is one of those things.
I'm down.
Like,
I'm down. $1 billion, you can have one of my eyes. 100%.
That's
100%.
just like
Depends
that's
on
like
the
you're
extraction.
halfway to blind. You know what I mean? Imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could enjoy my life if I was blind.
I don't do any extreme sports. I don't like that shit. I went skydiving, and I'm telling you right now, it wasn't a thing I did. And then when I hit the bottom, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go get my license. I was like, oh, okay, I'm glad I have to be on the ground, and I'm never doing it again. You know, like, I'm glad I experienced
Really?
it, but yeah,
I
I didn't like it.
exhilarated.
Nah, I was exhilarating. There was a point where when everything stabilized and you're just like, so jumping out, I didn't like, and then actually being honest with you, being under the canopy, I didn't like. Falling was super dope, zero fear, and I'm just like, God damn, this is awesome! Like, look at all this. And then when I was under the canopy, knowing that the safety's gone now, I'm like. And my brain's like, if this link breaks, we're fucking dead. I'm dead. There's no fucking way.
You know how I ended up skydiving was because of my own fucking conceitedness. Like, it was just the worst calling my bluff situation that I ever had in my life, right? I was in Arizona with a group of my friends. We saw a sign, and I was like, yo, we should go skydiving. And I'm thinking they were like, nah,
You won't.
bro, you crazy, we wouldn't do it. And they were like, the girl that was driving, she's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm down. Everybody else down. I'm like, oh shit, this is happening, right?
Yeah.
So we're driving to the spot.
I was just kidding, guys.
No, but I can't lose face, right? So the entire time we're going there, it's like, you know what? Just calm down, bro. It's probably one of those appointment only type thing. They're gonna turn you away. Then you know what I mean? Then you just gotta have an excuse for when you can't do it. Then we make the appointment, right? We get there, bro, and we're like, it's a group of y'all. You know, as a matter of fact, we actually have a sale for a group of 6. I'm like, oh shit, listen, my bro. give me an appointment. And then he goes like, and we had a cancellation. I'm like, you motherfucker. At this point, you know what I'm saying? Bricks will man, I was shitting bricks, man. And I can't lose face, right? Now, here's the thing why I didn't like about skydiving, right? Is the fact that when they strapped me in that little pouch, right, as a grown-ass man, and I'm sitting on this dude's lap on the plane, waiting to jump off the plane, that's the worst part, because I know he can feel my fear. I'm sitting in his lap. And when he's like, oh, let's jump, like, okay, it's time to jump and stuff. And to me, I'm thinking, like, you know what, dude? Enough is enough. You need to bitch out. You know what I'm saying? Just bitch out, go call your mom, say you love her, and apologize for all the heartaches you ever gave her. And when I was about to tell the dude, like, hey, man, I don't think I'm ready for this shit. Motherfucker, just get up. Like, I weigh 190 pounds. He just gets up, like, I'm like, my feet are dangling. And shit. Like, all right, man, you ready? Like, yo, bro. And we jump, man. And I shit you not. The jumping was awesome.
Yes.
But I imagine me dying 3 times.
Yes, that's it.
Like immediately, I was like, okay, this is it. My parachutes are not gonna connect. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna die on this dude. This, you know, like with this.
Let me ask you guys a
question.
So you guys have both jumped. When you guys were under canopy, did you ever look down and go, if I can make it to there, maybe I'll live? Like, did you ever like look and be like,
so I at that point I have zero anxiety about dying. It's not because I'm like super brave. It's more like,
that's so morbid.
Well, if I did die, I wouldn't have to go to work on Monday. Like, there's no way I would have to, like, all these responsibilities. You wouldn't have to do shit on Monday.
You'd be dead.
all these things that annoy me that I'm like, fuck, I got to do that. That's the plus side. It's the silver lining. You know what I mean? So I kind of look at it like it just didn't really faze me. And then even if I get injured, even if I just break my back and I'm bound to a chair, it's like I don't have to do shit ever again. You know what I mean? So it's like there's all these like
the
plus
ultimate
sides.
in slacker. Like being paralyzed is not that bad. You never have to work. So
you know what's the crazy shit about that? Like, I don't want to punch him right now. I'm like, what's wrong? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know, hey, but it wouldn't that be some shit though if you did like hit the ground wrong or something and you're paralyzed the rest of your life and you're sitting like Christopher Reeves like, and you got to think to yourself like for the rest of your life as you're like moving the chair with that straw you blow into, just to save face. Just to save face. This is my rest.
I would have been salty as fuck. I'm like, and then I want to. Nowadays,
and then people are like, oh, I'm moving. Can anybody help me? And I'm like, I'm paralyzed, dude. I can't. I'm paralyzed.
First of all, you have some asshole friends. If they ask you like, "Hey, anybody can help me move?" Like in your presence, I feel like that would be something.
I shouldn't even be on that text thread.
Like that should be like a whole. Even then, bro, like it'll be let's say if we're all in the same mood together, it'll be a situation. Hey, yo, Robo and Rhi, can you guys meet me outside? I gotta ask you guys a personal question. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, hey, like that's like saying like, hey, you guys want to go for a race? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
My
like,
laziness knows no bounds. Like Juder is one of my best friends, maybe my best friend, and. Hey man, Can you drive like 6 minutes to pick up a chair in your truck? I'm like, the other side. If you saw me, like in our same neighborhood, not on the other side of the island, just all right here. And I'm like, what time is it? Oh my god!
But we had fun.
I fucking guess.
We chatted, we laughed, we had fun.
But isn't that all work though? It's always like that. Like I hate going to the field, but then like when you're in the field, then you're bullshitting with the. I guess this isn't so bad. But there'll never be a time that heading to the field is like, yeah, I'm so glad, you know.
So TMI,
I'm just lazy.
though.
I'm a lazy piece of shit.
TMI, and because this just reminded me of something, right? Because now I know exactly what he meant when he said, "No, I got you. I don't mind." So in Hawaii, due to some unfortunate circumstances, I lost my license, right? And your boy couldn't drive. Actually, I couldn't drive on days.
I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
So
where was the last place you saw it? You know?
It was in the.
Did you retrace your steps?
Yeah. I rode with the cop and everything to find the license, but I think he ended up keeping it.
Okay.
So, anyways, I remember Robert just became my supervisor. I shit you not, man. And he's still trying to be very stoic, very military. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like no rapport here. There's no friendship being established. And I was like, hey, man. So I don't know if you got break. Like, yeah, I was told that you don't. You know. I was like, yeah, that thing. I need a ride home.
You said TMI, but you're holding back on some shit.
Well, yeah, because this was my thing. I didn't say TTMI.
All right, go ahead.
So then I'm like, he goes like, of course I'll give you a ride, no problem. And he's taking me, and like I can tell, he goes, oh, wait, you live nearby here? And I was like, not really. And I can see like the confidence, but he goes like, you know what? You're my troop. I have to look out for you. And I'm like, I appreciate you. I like this guy. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, 5 stars. And he takes me home, and when he got, I was like, hey, again, I was like, I really apologize. Like the dude that I came to work with, he had to leave for. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. I was happy to do it, and he left off. And for the entire time up until this point, I was like, you know what? He's all right. Now I can just imagine him getting home, talking to his wife, and be like, can you believe this motherfucker had me go all the way 5 minutes out, and now
maybe on the way there, but the morning one was straight because it meant like I could come in a little late and didn't have to do PT. I'm like, hey, I gotta go pick up Florian. That's my troop. You're like, what do you want me to do? And then you get to come in.
You were enthused on that one. It's like, you know, and like
but on the way home, I'm like, you sure you don't got a ride? Because I got to hit traffic on the way. Okay, nah, I got you.
You did offer the bicycle. But yeah, man. Well, with that being said.
Yeah, I'd say this is a good. You got more to say about that 24-hour deal? You're going to shit yourself or poop in a bucket, according to Aaron Judah?
If you guys want to see Cypher shit himself, just watch the 24-hour thing.
Or just hang out with him.
That's the tagline.
Hey, Reed, you got anything to close off? Anything you wanted to get to?
No, I was just looking at our description. Did we end up talking about everything we wanted to talk to? Harley Quinn, New Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. I think we touched on most DC shit, but yeah.
How many people are in the chat right now? Is anybody almost ready for bed? You guys, we're gonna talk some. If we could either get off now or talk some Dark Side.
I think we're at a natural closing point.
Yeah, 2 hours is good.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was good times.
Lives. I'm down to be slave to the chat. If they want us here. They want us here.
I love it here.
Yeah,
you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, so we'll go ahead and just say, make sure to check out the channel. Before anything, Cypher World. We'll put the links in the description. We got Discord on the I Freaking Love Comics. Cypher has a Discord, and we help each other out in that way as well. Lo Tigre. If we said at the beginning of the whole deal, we had a big week. So Matt Barlow, Iced Earth, big metalhead. I'm not one, so I learned this week that Matt Barlow of Iced Earth is a big deal. It's a really big deal. I knew he had some celebrity status, but damn, like the way that Judah was fangirling over there, fanboying it up, and all his fans kind of came into the comments, and I was like, oh, all right. So if you're a metalhead, check out Matt Barlow. Tina Horn, that's up and live right now. Don't forget to click like and click subscribe. Please do that. It's really important. We're not making any money off this stuff, so really the best we can get at this point is get our videos out there, and liking and subscribing and commenting and ringing the bell is pretty important.
Yes, share us around.
We're here for you because we love you, guys and gals.
Freaking love comics.
Hell yeah. Oh, real quick. So I will say right now, I will announce that 2 big things that we have in the works is a Alex Packendale, who is the next artist for Empire. He also has written for Valiant and Incursion. We're scheduling. He already said he's down to do an interview with us, so he's going to come on the show in the near future.
Malone got the ball rolling on that, so thank you.
Malone. Yeah,
thank you, Michael.
Just like he did with Rodney Barnes. So Michael Malone is the man.
Isn't there another person as well that might be?
Yeah, so I'm getting there. So we'll do that.
Me too much.
We also have a sex positive kink representation in comics that Rhi is heading up. Because it's going to be uncensored, and we're not going to pull anything back, and the pictures we show in comic books are going to be fully uncensored. It won't be here on YouTube. So make sure, even if you don't plan to give money, head to our Patreon and subscribe and follow there and be a part of that community. I guess we'll make one there because that's where the video is going to go. Tina Horn has already agreed to be a part of that project. So she's a sex columnist and a comic book writer. So make sure to go follow us on Patreon.
Too.
Yeah,
she's really fucking knowledgeable and intellectual. So it'll be fun to have her on there and have a conversation about sex positivity in comics.
And then old people like us. Let me tell you, there's one last one that I think it's going to be. Listen, if you watch the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you old. Don't let anybody. I'm older, but you still old, bro. Listen. Go ahead.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell.
If you know the song, you're old.
I could be a hipster, douche.
So Kevin Eastman, June 6th, is gonna be on our Skype for about 10 to 15 minutes. He is gonna come on. He's gonna talk Ninja Turtles. That is super exciting to me.
He's a rat. He's a radical rat.
So yeah, lots of good stuff. Again, like, subscribe, ring the bell. We out.
Cowbunga.
And then we do this stuff here because the scene is messed up, and put that.
What's up?
Thank you for watching IFLC. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and be free. Follow our links and watch our show because you want to and not because of the threats. Thank you for watching Juder, Robo and Rhi. We talk about comics, movies, and TV. Sometimes we have notable guests and sometimes it's just us. But we're also cool.